The Libido Doctor is in.
Hello and welcome. This is Doctor Suzanne, and I want to talk about 3 ways men pick their wives or girlfriends to start with. And it's mainly and strictly going to be based on how we are made as human beings. We are tripartite: a body, a soul, and a spirit. Therefore, there are people who will focus on one aspect, and there are people who may focus on the whole aspect, or some who may give more emphasis to certain aspects. So let's see what they may look at based on their inclination. All right. So let's get started with the carnal man. The carnal man is mainly attracted by the physical characteristics of the body. They look at the body type. They want what they like. They look at the skin color, the style, the way the lady moves, and how she's using her assets to put them, um, you know, in value in parentheses. Like, the way she dresses, if she has her skin out or her legs or whatever. I don't know. But they pay attention to the clothes coordination, the hair, the nails, and all that. So they're very focused on the appearance, and they may not pay attention to the character or the spiritual values of the lady. The problem is, if they get married, they will head into some troubles down the road, because this lady, after giving birth to a few children, we have a definite change in her body shape. And that's probably going to create a little bit of confusion in the mind of the guy because he didn't see that coming. Anyway, that's what it is. But they can also have some issues with character, decision making, intellectual comprehension. I mean, a lot of things can surface in this type of relationship. And you also have the risk of not being equally yoked because you didn't pay attention to the spirit you were going to be under. Okay, so that's the first type of guys, I would say, the carnal guys. Now, the second type, which is the other extreme, is the spiritual guys. They are very focused on the things of the spirit. They love the Lord. So definitely they're looking for a woman who also displays their level of spiritual engagement. Maybe the fruits of the spirit, the praying in tongues, the fasting and going to the prayer mountain. It's just a different type of ladies they are looking for. She's involved in church, she's in the choir, she's in every committee, she sleeps at church, she is a church girl, basically. Very spiritual. She doesn't pay too much attention to her physical attractiveness or appearance because she's not carnal. She's just very spiritual. And she has definitely the potential to be a good mother, because if you want your children to grow in the ways of the Lord, she's definitely a great candidate. And she's also going to be a good wife because she knows the rules. She will be respectful, honor you, be submissive. And these couples, when they get married, they're fine, but they just need to have some balance, You should not fast for a whole year or whatever. But They just have to have some balance and decide how they manage their spiritual life in the family. Sometimes in this type of couples, the woman has to adjust, really. She has to shift a little bit because now her time is going to be divided between her spiritual life, her home life, and the children. Sometimes an adjustment has to occur, and usually it's fine. And now you have the third type of men who look at the soul. I call them the godly ones because they don't necessarily go for a specific characteristic, but they look at the person as a whole. And when we talk about soul, we're talking about the mind, the heart, emotions, and the will. The heart is where the love resides, meaning that you have a higher percentage of unconditional love, hopefully. You have a soul attraction. Remember that God created those souls in Genesis 1:27, and when he formed Adam, he breathed into his nostrils. The Bible says Adam became a living soul. So this soul attraction and recognition is what is the most important, because when you actually find the person who is made for you, everything flows, because God knows what you like. I always say that a man carries his wife in his heart. So whenever he calls her forth or brings her out, whichever way you want to see it, she will have all those physical components that he likes, but it's not going to be what attracts him like in the carnal man. And she's also going to have the spiritual attributes that makes him feel comfortable without necessarily being super extreme, you know. Therefore, this is the best way to find your wife. So pray, ask God to help you and give you wisdom, understanding to figure out who he made for you, because that's very critical. That's very important. Okay? Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye.